loved between streetlights, in the spaces where shadows whispered secrets and neon signs hummed lullabies. Spider-Man swung through the city, his movements a dance of fluid grace, but his mind was tethered to her, Supergirl, her cape catching the wind like a promise she couldn't quite keep. They were heroes, yes, but in the quiet moments, they were just two hearts trying to find each other in the dark. It started with a glance, one of those accidental meetings that felt anything but accidental. She was floating above the city, her silhouette outlined by the moon, and he was perched on a rooftop, watching her like she was the only star in the sky. When their eyes met, it was a collision of something neither of them could name, something warm and aching, like a melody they'd both forgotten, but recognized instantly. Love, even for superheroes, is never simple. There were misunderstandings, moments when their words tangled like webs and drifted away before they could catch them. He thought she was too far above him, both literally and figuratively. A girl who could soar into the clouds, while he was grounded by the weight of his responsibilities. He thought he was too guarded, a boy who hid behind quips and masks, afraid to let anyone in. One night, they found themselves on the same rooftop again. The city stretched out below them like a quilt of light. Silence between them was heavy, but not uncomfortable. It was the kind of silence that held questions, the kind that begged to be filled with truth. "Why do you always leave?" he asked, his voice soft but steady. "Every time we're close, you take off like I'm something you're afraid to touch." She looked at him, her eyes shimmering with something he couldn't quite place. "Maybe I'm not afraid of you," she said. "Maybe I'm afraid of what I'll do if I stay." Her words hung in the air, a confession wrapped in vulnerability. He reached for her hand, his fingers trembling as they brushed against hers. "Stay," he whispered, "just for tonight." And she did. They sat there, shoulder to shoulder, their breaths sinking like the slow, steady rhythm of the night. They talked about everything and nothing, about the weight of the world on their shoulders, about the moments when they felt like giving up, about the way the city seemed to hold them both in its arms, even when they felt alone. Weeks that followed were a mix of fleeting joy and quiet longing. They'd meet between battles, their moments together stolen and precious. He'd make her laugh with his clumsy attempts at cooking, and she'd tease him about his tendency to overthink everything. They were a puzzle, two pieces that didn't quite fit, but somehow made a picture anyway. But then came the heartbreak. A mission gone wrong, words spoken in anger, and suddenly the distance between them felt like an ocean. He thought she didn't trust him. She thought he didn't understand her. They drifted apart, their connection fraying like a thread stretched too thin. It was Wonder Woman who found them one evening, their separate paths crossing in the same city square. He saw the way they avoided each other's gaze, the way their shoulders tensed when they were in the same room. "You two keep forgetting something," she said gently. "Love isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up, even when it hurts." Her words lingered in the air, a quiet reminder of what they'd both been too afraid to admit. That night, he found her on the rooftop again, her cape fluttering in the breeze. This time there were no masks, no walls, just two hearts, raw and honest, reaching for each other in the dark. "I'm sorry," he said, his voice breaking. "For everything." She reached for his hand, her touch warm and steady. "Too," she whispered. "I'm done running." They stayed like that for a long time, their hands intertwined, the city humming softly around them. Love isn't always easy, especially for those who carry the weight of the world. But in that moment, they found something rare and beautiful, a quiet truth that whispered through the spaces between streetlights. That sometimes, love is simply about choosing each other, again and again, no matter how many times you fall. And as the night wrapped itself around them, they held onto the truth, letting it guide them through the dark.